Okay, guys. So there's an article going around called "The Rise of Single Lonely Men," written by somebody with a psychology degree. If you, I'm gonna link it to the description, man. But the thing I did about people with PhDs, man, they just dumb people with. They need something to do. But this has become a trend on my timeline on the Blue app. So let's read this out, and I'm gonna tell you why it's dumb. Okay, so the rise of single lonely men, dating apps, and a drastically changing relationship landscape. Remember this word relationship. Remember this word single, and I'm gonna break down this. This is if you are lonely. If you're lonely, it's your fault. You can be single and still have fulfilling relationships. But let's get into it. Key points: dating opportunities for heterosexual men are diminishing as healthy relationship standards change. Healthy relationship standards. That's bananas. That's a very effeminate word, yo. Anyway, men represent approximately 62% of dating app users, lowering their chances for matches. Men need to address skill deficits to meet healthier relationship expectations. This is some bull, and he looks real questionable himself, like he go both ways. But anyway, younger and middle-aged men are the loneliest they've been in generations, and it's probably going to get worse. This is not the typical rosy view of relationships, but a reality nonetheless. Over the last 30 years, men have become a larger portion of that growing group of long-term single people. And while you don't actually need to be in a relationship to be happy, men typically are happier and healthier when partnered. I just want to say real briefly, my parents have been married they've been together for 52 years. They've been married, I don't know how long, but I know this. Seeing my parents, my uncles, my older sisters on their second and third marriages and all type of shit, bro, you are not happier and healthier with these goofy bitches. I will also say that every decade since the 1950s, the marriage rate for Tonys, for coloreds, has gone down 10%. So you started in 1950 at 93%, then 80s, then 70s, then 60s. Now you're at 26%, but that's only because the boomers are alive. Because once the boomers die, you'll be under 9%. Only 9% of women under the age of 55 are in their first marriage. So you in a 1 in 10 chance already, and it's projected by 2030 for the marriage rate to be 0 for the coloreds. Well, 2%. With a 2% plus minus. So that might as well be 0. These girls will not want to get married, and they're not marriage material. But that does not mean you have to be lonely, and that does not mean that there's something wrong with you. These girls are dumb. They just do shit. They don't know shit. But let's continue this. And stop using dating apps. But let's continue. Dating apps. Okay. Now, relationship standards. With so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. Do a TikTok show to speak to hundreds of audience members every week. I hear recurring themes from women between the ages of 25 to 45. The worst women. If you're not married by 25, just call it a wrap. By 30, you're an old lady anyway. Skill deficits. For men, this means a relationship skills gap that, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities, less patience for communication skills, and longer periods of being single. The problem for men is that the emotional connection is the lifeblood of healthy, long-term love. Emotional connection requires that all the skills that families are still not consistently teaching their young boys. When they say families, they mean single mothers, by the way. While there's probably no chance of stemming the rising tide of unintentional single men, there's good news. And the good news is the Dirty Folks Podcast. Welcome to the motherfucking daycare. Let me tell you something, guys. You are 80% of every relationship. You know how I know you 80% of every relationship. And if you single, it's fine to be single. Because if you date women, these whores are horrible. But if you're lonely, it's your fault. Because relationships, the key in here is relation. How you relate to other people. The irony of this is I'm really on my way out the door to go to my boy's birthday party. On a Thursday, on a work day, it's 50 people in his backyard. enjoying themselves. Yesterday we just left a live concert. I have real life friends. Stay off the dating apps. If you don't have real life friends, that's because your mother told you don't trust these dudes. Men are bad because your mom ain't shit. Men are awesome. Find you some fucking friends. When it comes to companionship, the irony of this companionship shit is that women don't get along with each other. Women are horrible companions. It takes men to settle down women. That's why girls be like, all my friends are men. I don't fuck with girls. And then be like, why all my male friends trying to fuck me? Girls are dumb. Don't listen to this shit, bro. You can have healthy, fulfilling relationships with any dude. Pause. There's people in jail that have roommates and they cool with their cellmate. Just platonically. Don't get onto some jailhouse gay shit. Just, they chop up, make dips, talk about shit, play checkers, and they make the time go past for years. Be cool as shit. Men are the backbone of relationships. Women want romance. They don't want relationships. And the irony of an old motherfucker telling you that young men are lonely because they don't have a woman, when they the generation of motherfuckers that sleep in separate bedrooms. Boomers are the generation of motherfuckers that stay married because it's cheaper to keep her, but they sleep in separate bedrooms. Your room, when you were a kid, when you moved out, your mama moved in your room or some goofy shit like that. Your dad moved to the den. They just together. And I can prove it because that's what these bitches really want. And I'm not mad at that. So watch this, because we ain't done, but we almost there. So I want you to look at this. What does it say? It says, would you live with your partner and have separate rooms? This young lady says, I think that whole getting married and having separate rooms make things make so much sense. Let me tell you something, guys. There is a plethora of women who want to get married and live in separate houses. These bitches don't want to be next to you because they horrible people and you shouldn't want to be next to them. And I'm going to close this out with some words from the late great. This is how little you really want them. You just want sex and you want her around, but you really don't need it in your space. But I'm going to let a person say it better than I could say it. So take it away, Mr. O'Neill.
Men want to be alone, but we don't want to be by ourselves. Does that make sense at all? Meaning, really, look at this guy looking at his wife like, not you, sweetie, but sort of you, kinda. We want you somewhere, like in the dwelling, just not here, like just like around the corner, in the vents. You can sit in the vent, I don't care if you want to watch me, but in the on the roof, anywhere, but just not in front of me, trying to be my friend. What you do?
Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.